One of the most embarrassing downfalls in social media and celebrity culture is Floyd Mayweather. He is probably the brokest millionaire or the brokest billionaire that you're ever going to meet. This guy rise and falls every couple of months. Apparently his spending is completely out of control. He's going broke and bankrupt, but every single time that the music is about to stop, he manages to pull a quick little multi-million dollar fight out of his ass. It is insane. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the depraved downfall of Floyd Mayweather, how he essentially it's weird. He's like rich and broke at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. So this article back from 2013, it said that Floyd Mayweather will never ever go broke, and a potential $100 million payday was kind of getting him gassed up at the time. Okay, so it's just so weird. Like, I'm gonna recap some of the dialogue around Floyd Mayweather over the years and just compare that to what's actually going on with his life and his finances right now. Okay, so it says Leonard Ellaby, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, has heard all the stories about the voluminous number of boxers who blew their earnings from the ring and woke up broke, often found on the street. But no matter how badly things go in the future for Floyd Mayweather Jr., Ellaby said that there's no conceivable way he could ever wind up in that position. Ellaby and Al Heyman, Mayweather's de facto manager, worked together to handle Mayweather's business portfolio. So Mayweather showed reporter Tim Keown of the ESP magazine a banking slip that indicated a balance of $123 million in just one account. Ellaby told Yahoo Sports on Thursday that he thinks Floyd Mayweather and golfer Tiger Woods might be the only athletes that have more than 100 M's in their bank accounts when they retire. Says Floyd's going to retire with 9 figures in the bank. Tiger Woods has a very good chance of doing that as well. I can't think of anyone else who's done that or who looks right now like they might even do it. So it said Mayweather is guaranteed a staggering $41.5 million to fight Canelo Alvarez on Saturday in a pay-per-view bout that was generating record business. So they said that fight has a chance to become only the second boxing match in history to exceed 2 million sales. So it says Ellaby gave a brief glimpse into Mayweather's private business world and said the $41.5 million check that he gets on Saturday is a mere pittance compared to what you might get if the fight breaks all-time records of 2.5 million pay-per-view sales. So the sky's the limit on how well this fight does, Ellaby said. You've got to remember, we're not in no situation. We're controlling what's going on. We're dictating the terms. So if it goes through the roof, then it is what it is. He stands to make a whole lot of money in this fight. He drew out the word whole for several seconds, arched his eyebrows, and beamed as he spoke. You know they get into the bag. Says Mayweather's not just going to add a few million extra dollars if the pay-per-view does well, according to Ellaby. Listen, if this fight goes through the roof, Floyd Mayweather could make $100 million in this fight, as sure as we're standing here talking. Okay? Says that seems virtually impossible given the math. For the sake of argument, assume average purchase price is $70 since the HD version is $74.95. The standard definition is $64.95. That's a lot for one fight. Golden Boy CEO Richard Schaefer said sales skew slightly in favor of the high definition version and further assume that the fight sells 3 million pay-per-views, which would beat the existing record by 25% and doesn't seem possible. That would generate $210 million in net revenue in pay-per-view. Half of that money goes to the cable, satellite, and telephone companies that distribute the fight. That would mean the promotion would net $105 million out of the pay-per-view sales. To get $100 million, Mayweather would have to earn $58 million in pay-per-view revenue out of that $105 million. But Ellaby insisted he was telling the truth, even if he wasn't divulging details. I don't want to get all into the specifics, he said, but he wouldn't back down on that figure. In the last 6 years since the De La Hoya fight and counting Saturdays, Mayweather had earned $153 million in purse guarantees alone. That doesn't include pay-per-view upside that he would have received. Ellaby said Mayweather has made a great amount of money from investments and said Mayweather has significant real estate holdings. Prime real estate, Ellaby said. Prime, I'm talking about commercial. He has a large investment in prime commercial real estate. He's made a lot of money from investments, particularly in the last 2 years. Ellaby said he has no fear that Mayweather will blow the fortune after his fighting career, the way that former heavyweight champions Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, among many others, did. Never, Ellaby said. Floyd has a tremendous advantage because he's seen the pitfalls and the things that have happened to other fighters going back a long, long time before him. He's educated himself. I heard he couldn't even read. And surrounded himself with top-flight financial advisors. Floyd has a number of billionaire friends who have helped him and given him sound advice. In this world, it's all about who you know. There are things that are not available to this segment of people that are available to other segments of people. And Floyd's taken advantage to all of that. So they're saying he's never, ever going to go broke. Well, I'm not sure I believe that, because Floyd's over here doing stuff like this, flexing excessive spending. He's got a car collection that rivals the Sultan of Brunei.
We got options. I got about 100 cars. But right here, we like to call it the Sweet 16. Lambo, Ferrari, Lambo, Maybach, a Maybach.
He don't even know how to pronounce them. I would wager he doesn't even know what models he's got. I doubt he even knows which Ferraris he's got, and I'm a car nerd.
Whatever you want to call it. Of course, the McLaren, the original McLaren. Bentley, Rolls, the Maybach truck or Maybach truck, whatever you want to call it.
So I just don't understand why. It's just so you can be like Rolls. You can't drive all these cars at once, and they're all depreciating assets. It makes no sense. All right, some of those Ferraris are going to appreciate in value. Let's be real. Some of those Ferraris are going to appreciate. Got some nice ones there, but some of these Ferraris ain't. All right, this one looking like, what's that? A Portofino? Are you going to lose money on that? You know what I'm saying? The Lambo, depends what Lambos he's got, depends what Maybachs he's got. This looking like a 2015, this one looking old as hell. So, look, all right, I ain't got no Maybach, I ain't got Rolls, but you can see how dumb this guy's being with his money, and apparently I'm hearing that he's got a car collection like this at every single crib he owns. I'm hearing at every house he got the same shit. Rolls. Not Rolls, sorry, Rolls. What's the point? So, about 6 years ago, 50 Cent, who was close with Floyd Mayweather at a certain point, he claimed that Floyd is broke. He'd been broke for a minute, and that's why he's doing all these exhibitions.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Rolls.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month?
Like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, if you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub, because you need that action right now.
50's hilarious, bro, but he's saying he need that action. He's saying Floyd's so broke, he might come and host your party. I might got a little birthday party coming up that I could use Floyd PA in at, all right? He ain't going to be able to read the teleprompter, but we just need him in the building and can run. Got a couple bands for him. But apparently Logan Paul also claimed that he hadn't been paid after fighting Floyd, and he says that Floyd Mayweather low-key tried to finesse him out of a bunch of money.
No, I didn't make as much money as you'd think fighting Floyd.
Did you get paid from that?
He still owes me $1.5 million, maybe more.
How does he owe you the money? Why don't you just
Here's what happened. He pre-sold the fight using my likeness to some company in, I think, Dubai or like the Middle East for $10 million cash. We ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. That company paid him that money, is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment. I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think, he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million. Yikes. Sold for 6.6.
No, I didn't make as much.
His face at the end. Yikes. That's big yikes right there, okay?
No, I didn't make as much.
That's what Floyd's accountant's doing. When he going rolls, that's the face his accountant's pulling. So according to reports, some of Floyd's fights, including the Conor McGregor fight, actually had empty seats, and some promoters didn't even make money on them. We're about to find out.
There's no such thing as fake. I'm working for ESPN. We're broadcasting the Mayweather-McGregor fight live. And to this day, they will tell you that's a record. That's the biggest fight ever. That thing was sold out. That place was people were dressed up as empty seats, and I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there, and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out because that's what's on the screen. And it's not even close. Yeah. This isn't like, it's pretty much full. This isn't. There's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match. And the guys that wrote the checks.
But why didn't it sell out? I mean, it's such two big draws. They promoted it so well.
All anybody was talking about.
Yeah, there's still a number.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big a draw is, there's still a number. If this guy got 100 million, this guy got 100 million, then you got to advertise it, promote it. You got to bring.
It's the guarantees that kill everything. If they were just getting percentages, then obviously everybody.
You're saying the seats were empty. I can understand it not making the money, but the seats being empty seems.
So they're saying the promoters lost money on Floyd, right? So they doing Floyd a guarantee of a certain amount of millions. And then before you know it, they're saying, well, there ain't enough people in seats. This ain't really making sense. He trying to get the rematch. The promoter's saying, bro, the last time we lost money. F that. So reports would also claim that some of Floyd's biggest paydays, all right, and claims that he was a billionaire, his very biggest payday, it's just all cap. It's all been exaggerated. He was never rich, as he said.
You'll see reports. You mentioned 100 million for Floyd. The reports are 130. First off, he's never gotten 100 million for a flight, not even remotely close. But there's reports of 130. Wow. There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year and this year and this, over Cristiano Ronaldo.
You think it's bullshit?
I know it is. And there's public companies they do business with. HBO would be one of them. Find an executive to back the claim. It's never happened and it won't be.
And how do you know it's bullshit?
He makes very good money because I know the fight business. I've been in the fight business my whole life. I'm a promoter right now. I was.
So this guy actually knows what's going on, all right? And he's spilling the beans saying, Floyd, he ain't what he says he is. It ain't legit. And he'll basically go on to say that the most money that Floyd ever made from a fight is allegedly much less than people would think.
I worked with the commission. I mean, I've been on every single side of this.
But there's a lot of people that know the fight business. Why aren't other people discussing it?
You sound like a friend right now. No, I don't think that's true.
You sound like your friend right now.
What is it, Brian?
Yeah. He's like, I calculate everything. You can only make this much. And Floyd's like, but you don't know.
There you go. Yeah, well, there you go with that. But yeah, if you sit and you looked at it, I think that you'd come to that conclusion pretty fast. And you did say something I want to take issue with. You said a lot of people know the fight business. Yeah. I don't think you know 5 people that know the fight business.
I don't.
Very respectfully. But I don't think, there's no one you went to school with. There's no one that you were buddies with. Teacher asked you your class, what do you want to be when you grow up? Nobody said I want to be in the fight business.
That's true.
There's probably 5 men alive.
So if you had to guess, what do you think's the most Floyd ever made in a fight?
Oh, I think that Floyd's he's probably made about 60 million before in one night, which is crazy numbers. Mike Tyson, to put in perspective, when he fought Michael Spinks, that was the biggest fight of all time. When that fight happened, and one got 30 million and one got 29, and that was backed publicly. And Diet Pepsi sponsored that fight. I mean, some of those numbers were very public, but no, 100 million, 130 million. They just didn't happen.
Are they all lying? Like all the top guys?
I don't know. I don't know what they're claiming, but I know that Floyd is still getting in there as recently as this weekend because he needed the money. And I know
you think Floyd's fighting because he needs the money?
Doesn't need the money. Yeah.
Really? Why?
Saying Floyd needs the money. Okay, he needs it. He broke. Now, what's crazy is Floyd Mayweather recently filed a lawsuit claiming that he was getting scammed. All right, and it's very easy when you're this down bad. All right, you might need to just try and put it on someone. You might need to convince the whole world that someone else is the one who's scamming you here. This is Floyd Mayweather sues over alleged $175 million fraud. He claims his jewelry and his jet and his money are all missing. All right, it's insane. Okay, love the glasses. All right, those are sick. Those are fire. But anyway, all right. Says attorney. This is an update. Let's read that at the end. Said Floyd Mayweather said he got cleaned out to the tune of $175 million, claiming a former close associate ran a years-long scheme, allegedly draining his bank accounts, hijacking real estate deals, pawning off his jewelry, and even making his private jet disappear. Poof, it disappeared. According to a bombshell lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports, Floyd claimed Jonah Recknitz spent years gaining his trust before allegedly becoming the boxer's de facto money manager, real estate guy, and banking middleman. Now, Floyd Mayweather says it was all one giant setup, and in the suit, Floyd accuses Recknitz, along with A.L. Frist Apex Ventures, and attorney Alexander Seligson, of orchestrating a massive fraud operation that allegedly rerouted millions of dollars through fake investments, unauthorized wire transfers, and shady business entities. Look at him there with all of his money. According to the jaw-dropping claims, Floyd says roughly $100 million worth of bling was handed over to Miami jewelers for about $13 million in return. This is a huge chunk of the collection is still sitting with the dealers. The lawsuit even includes an alleged text exchange where a jeweler threatened to start liquidating Floyd's pieces if payments weren't made. And Reichnitz allegedly replied, "Agreed, thanks." So Mayweather also says he wired $7.5 million into what he thought was an investment deal, but claims the investment never happened and the money disappeared. Beyond that, he alleges another $15 million tied to a realty settlement was transferred out without his permission. It doesn't stop there. He says he unknowingly signed paperwork transferring ownership of his Gulfstream jet with the buyer section left blank, and he says he still doesn't know where the aircraft money went. They ran off with his jet. How the fuck can you run off with a jet? Says Floyd further accuses Frist of falsely presenting himself as a top executive of Varda Properties. Despite never holding these positions, Mayweather's suing for at least $175 million in punitive damages and a full accounting of where all the money allegedly disappeared. But litigation is nothing new for Floyd. The boxer's been involved in a rash of lawsuits recently, suing Showtime for $340 million, with Mayweather accusing his former network partner, with the help of longtime advisor Al Heyman, of stealing from him. So here's the response. It says, attorney for the defendants, Morris Mystery, tells TMZ, "We have thoroughly reviewed Mr. Mayweather's lawsuit. His claims against our clients are utterly baseless and refuted by substantial documentary evidence, including Mr. Mayweather's own correspondence. Our clients intend to vigorously defend against these claims and are confident that once all the facts are presented in court, not only will our clients be vindicated, Mr. Mayweather's gambling issues, prolific spending habits, monies owed to third-party creditors and IRS tax liens and levies, as well as other unseemly behavior, will be exposed. And we believe that Mr. Mayweather will be the one paying significant damages to our clients." A source close to Reichnitz disputes the allegations entirely and says Mayweather's financial, tax levy, and lien issues date back to at least 2018, years before they were ever involved with him professionally. The source claims the boxer's long-standing financial obligations and disputes were pre-existing and not caused by Reichnitz. But unfortunately, Floyd has recently been exposed in a bombshell video by our guy Spencer Cornelia. Okay, he's one of the biggest scam busters on YouTube behind CoffeeZilla, and he is debunking many of these claims, revealing that Floyd has apparently been pawning off jewelry so that he can get loans to pay the bills.
This is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025 of Jonas sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many have been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Now, obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke for me and you, but at this time he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection. He does have his own jet and has flown private for a couple decades, and he has an extensive exotic car collection. But what has been shared with me is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against all his assets, and it's fine when he's fighting and making money because he can pay the loans back, but it's kind of like musical chairs. Here's Floyd texting about having to give up all of his jewelry and watches and all of his women's bags. Further, he sent the text, "Don't forget about my ladies' Birkins, also that's a part of the $13 million. In December 2025, Floyd texted, "Please keep me updated on my jewelry and Birkins, thanks." Back in March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees. And he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, "I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000 so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees." In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees.
So Floyd out here doing these sort of shady deals, and then he paying millions in fees. He paying millions in fees. He's compounding the problem, right? Compound interest could have got him out of this situation if he'd committed early enough. But now that compound interest is beating his ass up. like Manny Pacquiao. So Floyd reportedly spends $20 million a year, and his jet was actually sold off to pay his loans. It didn't disappear. It didn't do the Dynamo David Blaine disappear out here. Apparently it was sold to pay off his loans.
Dude, does anyone remember this fight? It was in 2015, 11 years ago. And this fight was in 2017. Al Heyman had to advance Floyd money from this fight because Floyd had already spent all of his money. All of this spending is not new. It's been going on for years. So think about this. It's been 9 years since that fight. Let's assume Floyd spends around $20 million per year, which is pretty reasonable given his lifestyle expenses. That would have meant he spent $180 million since that fight in 2017. He's always posted pictures with cash money because it's his branding. And he certainly has had a lot of money at one point. But spending a couple $1,000,000 per month blows through this cash instantly. Floyd may have had a $100 million jewelry and watch collection, and that's certainly wealthy to me and you. But when you're spending $20, $30 million per year, that $100 million can dry up pretty quickly. Which is why he now needs to exit retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao for a payday. One of the other claims is about Floyd selling his jet and not receiving any money. There's mention in the complaint that the block for the purchaser was left blank. What the media misunderstood was that the plane wasn't sold for $1 like the complaint lists here. Here's the actual signed contract, which does list the consideration of $1 and OVC, and you can see Floyd's signature down below. I think what was misunderstood is that the plane didn't actually sell for $1. OVC means other valuable considerations, which means the sale was for more than $1. This happens when private parties don't want the amount known to the public. Here's the text message between Jonah and Floyd. Jonah sent the payoff letter from the lender of his private jet, as well as a letter from Navy Federal Credit Union regarding a $2.787 million payoff. What happened was Floyd took out a large loan against the value of the jet. So when the jet was sold, a large chunk of the money went to pay off the loan and many of his other debts. Here's the payoff demand statement for the jet. Highlighted is borrower named Floyd Mayweather. The total loan payoff is around $2.79 million, and the highlight in the bottom left is the property collateral as the Gulfstream Learjet. This is the bank wire transfer receipt from the credit union. Both of these documents were sent to Floyd, so he's clearly lying about the jet only selling for $1 and him being out of the know on the jet selling. The picture on the left is Floyd signing the contract, and the picture on the right is Floyd holding the aircraft purchase and sale agreement right after signing it. Does he look disappointed in the terms of the sale? This is the text Jonah sent to Floyd in September 2025, indicating that the house and airplane contracts were done, and Floyd responded, "Let's go." To make it even more clear that Floyd knew about the plane purchase and the terms of the purchase and sale, here's a text between Floyd and Jonah where Floyd writes, "Can you call me about the plane, please? I need for you to update me, please." And Jonah responded, "Plane is ready to close."
So he sold his plane, right? And we don't know exactly what for, but then they're talking about they dipping into the proceeds and paying off debts. He probably wasn't very happy to hear that. So, okay, from there, all right, this is the last thing I'm going to show you. There's claims that Floyd needed help from this company that he's now suing to pay his baby mama. He owed his baby mama over $1 million in back child support. And I ain't going to lie, baby daddy's down bad right now.
Floyd Mayweather fathers baby with dancer, ordered to pay $1 million in back child support. Jonah told me that Frist Apex Ventures assisted with paying his child support, meaning his lawsuit against them is even more perplexing. I found the court documents with his unexpected baby mama. Floyd did not deny being the father and was not happy with the news. He was angry and blamed her for getting pregnant. He attempted to force her to have an abortion and then blocked her from phone communication and text when he realized she was keeping the baby. Sounds like a great father. I even have the text messages between Floyd and her, but I'll blur for privacy reasons. It's not good. Here's the child support payments that stopped in December 2024 when Floyd was really having money problems. Floyd was ordered to pay $32,850 a month in child support, in addition to $933,050 in back support. This is how you go broke. I also have a letter from the IRS for taxpayer Floyd Mayweather. This is the notice of levy from the IRS for his unpaid $3.35 million in taxes from 2018. This was sent to Wells Fargo to seize any money in Floyd's Wells Fargo account, and they did the same for his JP Morgan Chase account. Here's an official IRS tax lien document sent to Floyd Mayweather on his property for the amount owed of around $7.28 million for the years 2018 and 2023. Some might say he's not going broke, he just wants to push off paying back the IRS, but I think this next document is a smoking gun. This is the collection appeal request Floyd sent to the IRS on why he couldn't pay. The explanation he sent was, need more time to gather the funds to pay in full. This is the IRS about to start seizing his assets. This isn't a personal loan. Why in the world, if he's made hundreds of millions of dollars, why doesn't he just pay the couple $1 million so he can get the IRS off his back? Jonah still hasn't been...
It doesn't make sense, okay? So look, it does seem like he's broke. It seems like everybody's known that he's been broke for a minute, but now the chickens are coming home to roost. He pawning stuff, he's selling airplanes, and then he kind of backtracking and blaming other people trying to sue them. It's insane. Okay, I think the Floyd Mayweather downfall is going to be crazy because he'll fight Manny Pacquiao. He'll probably get another massive payday, and then he'll blow through that too. He hasn't got the habits. I've met a lot of people in my life that they're broke. They always have money problems. But when you drill into it, you find out their spending habits, their attitude towards money is broken. Okay, I'm very conservative with money. I save a lot of money for I save half of my money away from my taxes. And then usually there's a little bit, once that tax bill comes in, it's a little bit less than what I've got. And then, you know, maybe that's when I might treat myself to something in a year, or, you know what I'm saying? Next year when I do my taxes, if there's a little left over, that's when I'm ball out, buy something nice. You know, that's when you might want to buy a new watch, new car type thing. But Floyd Mayweather ain't moving that way, okay? The way things are sounding, I might be richer than Floyd Mayweather. I don't know. He might be in negative net worth, all right? And one thing, I've got no debt. I don't be rocking with no debt, zero debts, okay? No student loan, no nothing, all right? So I don't know about Floyd Mayweather. Zero baby mamas over here. But anyway, it is what it is, okay? So look, I will keep you guys updated if anything else happens with Floyd. I do find him fascinating. I might do a full documentary on him on the main channel soon. And if I do, you'll be sure to see it, okay? Even though that channel doesn't really get pushed like this channel, which is weird. But hey, right, we moving and grooving, we still working, okay? This channel's overtaken my main channel, to be honest with you guys. We still running it. I've still got my team going, but really this is where it's at, okay? And I'm very, very grateful that you guys are enjoying this video. We running it up, we getting that bag, and we ain't blowing it like Floyd, okay? Is what it is. I will catch you guys in the next video. I'll see you tomorrow. That was my 3 videos for the day. If big news happens, I will update you guys, but I'm gonna go and record some main channel videos for you, and I'm very excited to share them with you. So we're locked in. All right, no more breaks, no more interviews. I'm outside, man. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.